Warm greetings, Mumford High School Mustangs. I hope all is well with each of you. I am excited to be here with you all today. As usual, we are picking up on our lecture for Speaking to Inform, coming from Chapter 10, Reading. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into it and not have any further delay. So, things to think about that we have already discussed. Identifying the main characteristics of a speech that is meant to inform, gaining your audience attention, building interest in the topic during your introduction, effectively maintaining the attention of your audience, how to react to feedback, executing smooth transitions during the body of an informative speech, and making sure that you're concluding your speech in an effective manner. And we are going to also talk about visual aids and that are available to most people. All right, so picking up where we left off, we already went ahead and went through the entire introduction of a speech. Remember, we talked about the three main parts of a speech is the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. All right. So now, jumping into the next slide, the body, which is the bulk. That is the central part of the speech. It contains most of the information. So during this portion, it is very, very important to maintain your audience attentions because you already grabbed their attention during the introduction, react to their feedback as meaning the audience, and making smooth transitions within the body, right? This is said to be the most important part of the speech. Let's go through a couple of these. Maintaining attention. Okay. As a speaker, you have to keep your audience engaged throughout your entire presentation. So you might want to include a humorous anecdote, an occasional story, shocking statistics, or a bit of suspense to renew your audience's attention. You have to you have to carefully prepare your nonverbal attention factors as well. Okay, so you also have to react to the feedback. Okay, learn to interpret the feedback. Know what the feedback is telling you as a speaker. Is it saying that they understand you or there's some clarity that's needed? And then adjust your delivery based upon that feedback that you receive. Make smooth transitions. This allows you to change from one topic to the next. And major transitions are usually with sentences that has minor transitions with a word or two, saying concluding or next, secondly, last. You have to plan your transitions. A speech involves two-way communication, just like a regular conversation. So pay close attention to those who react more vigorously than others. So if you're trying to figure out who in the crowd to really go off of with your feedback, look at those who are really paying attention and giving you the most feedback. If one or two people have a frown, then that may mean that they did not understand. However, the majority of your audience may have. You may just need to provide clarity. So keep that in mind as you move forward and move through the body of your speech. Next, concluding your speech. This is typically only 5% of your speech. So remember, your introduction is 10% of your speech, and your conclusion is 5%. That's 15%. So that means your body is 85% of your speech. And this can also be one of the most important part of speeches. Always include a summary, restate the message, and some people take that to restate their thesis, and take into account what you want your audience to walk away with. What do you want your audience to remember most? Because this will be the last part that they will hear. So you have to keep that in the forefront of your mind. Each part of the speech is very, very important. Moving on. So there are techniques for concluding a speech. We're going to go through all 4 of them so you know what is the best way for people to Remember the speech and the best way for you to wrap up your speech. Now, if you want your audience to remember one single thing, like an idea or principle, maybe it's go vote, right? Maybe you want your audience to remember to just go and vote. Use a story or analogy highlighting that. The next technique that can be used is that you might want them to have further interest in your topic. So end with the question with the speech, which the speech has not fully answered. Maybe you want them to do more research. Maybe you say, so what is it that you think? Where could this go? Okay. So you can end it with a question and have that audience still triggered to try to figure out more. Maybe you are wanting your audience to remember a theme, a slogan, or a key phrase. So what you should do is twofold. Begin the speech with that phrase or slogan and then repeat it word for word in the conclusion. So start off your speech and end your speech with the same words. Kind of like Nike, just do it. If you want them to remember Nike, just do it. You start it off with Nike, just do it, and end it off with Nike, just do it. Now, if you want your listeners to get in their feelings, you want them to really, really think about something, you can finish your speech with a quote from a well-known and respected individual. For instance, you might end it with quoting First Lady Michelle Obama. When they go low, we go high. Okay? And that can really have people start thinking about different things and tapping into different emotions where that quote can really, really touch them. So there are 4 different ways to conclude a speech, and depending upon what you want your audience to remember the most or what you want them to take away the most will guide you as to which method you should use in order to wrap up your speech. Moving on, visual aids. Typically, visual aids can be very helpful for speakers and the audience, right? They can help with your platform movement, gestures to point and remember details. They also help your audience gain a deeper understanding and meaning to your message. However, you don't want just visual aids everywhere. You have to really think about how you are going to plan out using your visual aids. Bombarding your audience with a lot of visuals can have them not really have their attention on something specific or something that you're trying to emphasize. So make sure, again, you plan those out. And here's a tip. Words account for only 35% of what we communicate. The remainder is largely accomplished by body communication, nonverbals, platform movement, right? Because people remember more of what they see than what they hear. So keep that in mind. So types of visual aids. Depending on your speech, you may use only one or you can have several. Again, be careful to know when and what aids you will use to enhance your presentation and not take away from the actual presentation. Again, they are there to help, advance, enhance. So keep that in mind. Here are several visual aids that you can use during an informative speech. Charts, graphs, diagrams, maps, posters, cartoons, pictures, objects, models, cutaways, and handouts. Let's look at a few. This right here is a map. Here we are with handouts. This one is a graph of temperatures. You have a cutaway, a model, like model car. This is a picture. This can be a poster, and it actually is a poster, one of my favorite posters of Detroit. Here you have a chart. Cartoons. We all know SpongeBob and Patrick. This is a flow chart, so this is a diagram. Here are objects. The cylinders are objects. Okay, so now here we are. And I want you to be able to answer the following questions. Do you know the main characteristics of an informative speech? How do you gain an audience attention? There's 5 ways. How do you build interest in your topic? And what way can you maintain audience attention? How should you react to feedback? What are ways to execute smooth transitions? The 4 ways to conclude an informative speech, and those 11 types of visual aids that are available, and when do you use each of them? And that last part, when do you use each of them, that is subjective, but remember, it's always to enhance your presentation. Okay, so want to go back to things to think about once again, and this goes along with answer those questions. Can you identify the main characteristics of a speech, gain your audience attention, and build interest in your topic during the introduction? During your body, are you able to effectively maintain the attention, react to feedback, and execute smooth transitions? And can you use one of those 4 ways to conclude your informative speech effectively? And if you choose to use visual aids, which ones will you use? Which ones are available? And how will you use them to enhance your presentation? This is Speaking to Inform. We will work tomorrow to discuss the actual creation of a speech. All right. This is chapter 10 reading, which is also uploaded into Schoology and on the class website. I hope that you have a great day. Please let me know if you have any questions and reach out to me. There are several ways that you can communicate with me so that I can provide any greater understanding of the topic. Please ask questions. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. Thank you.